Hey YouTube land, just Jax back again. A little bit of a legality update. So I've had this piece of paper for a little while that I needed to get filled out. I just needed a doctor that had been seeing me in some form of capacity for a while to vouch that I am male. I am not transitioning for fraudulent reasons, and that they see me being male for the foreseeable future. And I had a doctor sign it today at my doctor's appointment. So after that appointment, I went and got this piece of paper, which is a copy of my, well, it's not a copy, I'm sorry. It is my current valid ID that says male on it. My gender marker is officially, legally male. That's it. That's the short end. That's the short version of the story. For those that would like more information, I will go into that now. But short end of the stick, I am 100% legally male. So, little backstory for those that don't watch every single video, which is fine. I got in with a new primary care doctor. I had to wait till June for her to see new patients. I got in with her and I've seen her twice now. I wanted to get a general practice doctor just for things that might come up transition wise. It's never bad for a chronically ill person to have an extra doctor and not just rely on their GI all the time, although mine is amazing. But because of my immune issues, I do get sick a lot with some random things. But especially since I have started transitioning, I wanted an extra doctor just to keep an eye on things, and who knows what else might come up. So I love her. She was already Holly's doctor. That's why I picked her and asked my GI to refer me to her so I could get in with her. So that is all squared away, and in doing that and some other upkeep that I needed was to see a gyno. And I have, for me obvious reasons, I'm not per se dysphoric as in that I want to go through all the surgeries that can happen below the waist, but I am dysphoric when it comes to that area and other people being there sometimes, let alone a stranger, and having testing done and that sort of thing. So I have had a few pap smears done, and literally each of them came back with they didn't get a good enough sample, or just they couldn't read the results for obvious reasons. And so I let my general practitioner know all that, and she knows all about my transition. And there is a doctor within the hospital I go through that's actually from Denver, and has some background with trans patients, and they got in a conversation about how there is not very good trans care for trans men or trans women in this area, and that she would very, very okay with seeing me, and very conscious of, taking things gently, not only literally, but with me as a patient. And so I felt very great in my doctor's recommendation, and was, still apprehensive of the appointment, but knowing that information was great. The day of my first appointment, she had an emergency C-section, but luckily her nurse practitioner did a lot of her rotations and studies and stuff in St. Louis in Planned Parenthood. And for those that don't know, a lot of Planned Parenthoods actually offer trans care for people to get started on hormones and stuff like that. It is not just an abortion clinic. So yeah, let's not even get started on that. So she has she herself too had a lot of information and asked a lot of good questions. And also used to work in a wound care center. Noticed my history of pyoderma gangrenosum in my chart, and because of wound care, used to work with ostomy patients. Like, I got a Hail Mary of a nurse practitioner if I wasn't going to get the doctor she recommended. So put everything at ease, had a lot of great information, asked about what surgeries I wanted, and so I let her know that about my top surgery, and that at the time at this time I am not interested in anything below the waist. And she said, well, if you are, here's some things to look for and to ask your doctor if you're going to go that route. And didn't even realize some of the horror stories that she knew about some things that some doctors doing surgeries but leaving in the female parts and not taking care of everything that needed to be taken care of. And not to get everybody started on all that, but it was just, I'm glad I have an extra resource for myself and, you know, for me and my wife going, if we go forward in that route. And she said that she would have no trouble signing a letter for me to get my surgery, my top surgery. She didn't see a problem with my gynecologist doing that as well. So that was, you know, that was amazing. And then once again, the pap smear came back as inconclusive. So they called me, she called me personally, talked to me, and said that she would only do it one more time, that if for some reason this next sample, if I would come back, the next sample that didn't work out, that she would call it quits. She's like, I can literally see everything I need to see. She's like, the first tests for this, and this came back and you were fine. She said, I don't see any reason for this to be abnormal. She's like, I can see everything. I can see the testosterone is, you know, there's a lack of estrogen in your body, and that there are changes due to that, but nothing that is abnormal or that shouldn't be, you know. So she was very comforting. She was very reassuring about everything, very knowledgeable about everything, and it was a very easy process. And so then we got to talking after the test and everything. She was like, is there anything you want to talk to me while I'm here? And I was asking her if she had gotten in touch with the doctor about, you know, the information that we talked about last time about them possibly taking on my testosterone care, so I don't have to go all the way to St. Louis just to get blood work done. And she said that that she has started that process, that she wants to do more research and to know what dosage I need and what tests to get done, and then there's the legality of whether or not they can do it for me. So they've already been working on that. It's only been 20 days since my last appointment, but they've had a conversation. And so she said she's going to send me some information in electronic way and make it so I can personally ask her questions through the app if I need to, so I can get in direct contact with her and not have to call the office. She's like, I don't want to play phone tag with you. That's no way to, you know, go about this, because she knows it is a sensitive matter, and so it's not a normal thing that they cover there. She doesn't want a message to get slipped up in the system, and, you know, the nurses might not realize what's going on, which I totally understood her verbiage and what she was saying and felt great with that. And then so we're just talking in general about some things that my long-term goals again. And I was talking about my gender marker, and she's like, that's all you need is a signature on a piece of paper? I was like, yeah, that's all I need. It's a one-form thing in Missouri. It's just a doctor that's seen me that says, you know, what I said, that I'm not changing for fraudulent reasons, that they see me as, you know, being male for the foreseeable future, and that kind of information. And she was like, I'll sign that. She's like, I would have no trouble signing that. I go, I have it with me. And she's like, and so I bring out my binder that's all of my transition stuff. And she was like, oh, you have it with you? She's like, all I need is a pen. I was like, there's a pen here too. And so she literally just signed it right then and there. She's like, if anyone can say that you're male right now, it's me. You're good. And so that's it. That's the, you know, speedy fast version, sorry, of what's been going on in that situation. So for still having, I still have those parts, so they still have to be taken care of, especially more now than ever. So I'm very comfortable with the team that my general doctor has assigned to me. Her recommendation was amazing. The fact that she took into consideration everything that I'm going through and what I need from them, and the fact that these amazing doctors that are not from this area are in my area, and, you know, just 10 minutes away and now a message away, and are taking everything I need into consideration. I feel like I lucked out. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I really lucked out in this for as much hell as it's been for me to get started, I feel like once I got that first yes, I've had, you know, some hiccups here and there, and a couple of stalls and stutters, but the main thing has been my persistence, which, like I said, this is the whole reason I started vlogging and everything, was to, you know, keep myself accountable, to keep pushing myself, and, you know, no one was going to do this for me. It was something I had to keep pushing for myself. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I decided to put myself first and do what I need to do, to live my authentic self. And I just want to say that I am no more male today than I was before the piece of paper was signed. I'm no more male than I was before the first poke of testosterone. I'm no more male than I was, you know, 20 years ago when I, you know, first realized, you know, this is the journey I needed to take. It's just legal. And it's, I don't know, it's a blissful moment that I can't describe to someone that doesn't have to go through it. Luckily, I do have some amazing friends that understand how big of a deal this has been for me, to get this information today, and how big of a fight it's been, in a way. My transition is not over. There's still more things for me to do, surgery-wise and medically. The term completed transition is technically not a correct term, but there are things, there's a checklist of things that I wanted and I needed. I have one more to go. There's just one big one, and it's the biggest one, and because I will continue to transition while I'm on testosterone, and my body will continue to change for years to come, just like any other male. My body will change as I get older. My body will change, you know, the longer I'm on testosterone. But to have had this list of things that I needed, and to have waited so long to get the first check mark, and then to just keep going down the list and have only one left. Thought I wasn't gonna cry anymore on this. It's just not a place that I saw happening at all this year, let alone so quickly. So I am humbly grateful for that, and for everyone that has been a message away, a hug away, a call away, that has been supportive of me this entire time, way before I got the first yes. Thank you. And those that have, you know, just started on this journey with me and have been supportive, thank you. No matter what, I will continue to be a good nope. No matter what, I will continue to be a good human. That's gonna forever be my thing. I'm so glad I am also relentless in taking care of myself and sticking up for myself and others, as I always have been. But yeah, best decision I ever made. And that's all I got. That's all I got today. Really close to 6 months. I have a few more videos to make, in regards to just the voice update and another appointment I have tomorrow, and hopefully good things come from that. Because even though that was a part of getting letters for other things that I need, it's not just about that. It's about taking care of myself in general. And so tomorrow I start a new journey with a new psychologist, and I'm looking forward to it. I want to do it. I need to do it. Whether it's transition related or not, it's me related. This whole thing is about taking care of myself. Male, female, whatever. And taking care of my brain health is extremely important. You know, it's just as important as the rest. So that's where I'm going tomorrow, and that will be possibly my next update if my voice update is not first. So once again, thanks everybody. I appreciate you, and see you later.